Microphone checking. Hello, friends. My name's Eric, and I am the host of Talking with Famous People. And this lady sitting beside me is my soon to be 38-year-old fiance slash wife, Rachel. Where's Victoria, the ENTP, you might say? Oh, down in the lobby. Tendon bar. So, you may have heard me refer before in multiple live streams to that lady. I'm not really a learn people's names kind of guy. Well, it turns out that lady's name is Victoria. And that she's not an ESTP, she's an ENTP.
Mm-hmm.
When she informed us of this today, when we went down to the bar, I was both flabbergasted that she discussed this with us at all, but also I immediately thought, she's probably wrong about herself. She's an ESTP, I'm sure.
So did I.
But then I actually watched the process of her going about her business and sort of eavesdropped on her talking with people nearby and stuff, and actually was paying attention. And yeah, she's an ENTP. She is. She's got herself typed correctly, actually. And there are a couple of things that established it for me, but my favorite is when she corrected my wrong analogy with the correct analogy, which does not happen very often. So that was partially confirmation, but the more I thought about it, the more I just was like, actually, not that I wasn't thinking, yes, she's an ENTP. I kept thinking, actually, she's not an ESTP. You can see her not paying attention to shit in the visual spectrum all the time. And then Rachel and I had this awesome experience where I was trying to get her attention for quite a while, right? And then the other guy poked her and said, go look at those people, So the thing is, just the day before, Rachel and I had this same kind of experience and discussion in the car, where I'm sitting in the car explaining something to Rachel, but she's seen what's in the visual spectrum of this party across the street at the park. It's a party at the park. It's quite exciting. It's a party at the park. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Party at the park. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I have typed currently, without having actually typed him, of course, the guy bartender, whose name I don't remember or know,
I don't know.
that she was working with tonight at INFJ. So it's like us, but flipped, right? Like the girl's the ENTP and the guy's the INFJ. And they both work together behind the bar. And that phenomenon of the NI person being observant of the existing world around them, and then the NE Dom SI fourth person being remarkably able to not see things because they're in their head so much,
Yeah.
So anyway, that was also an interesting phenomenon to see. But what was most shocking about the whole thing is that when we sat down there, she said, MBTI, huh? And I'm like, what? I misheard her at first, right? I said, what? Or I thought she said something else or something. But anyway, She said, well, I watched your channel. And the thing that's so shocking about that is I don't usually, very rarely will I volunteer the information that I'm a YouTuber. But if it naturally comes about in conversation, if somebody asks, like, well, what do you do, or something, then I'll answer the question. And then sometimes they'll say, well, what's the name of your channel? And then I'll say, talking to fence people. And then that's the end of that, right? That's exactly what happens. Nobody ever goes and watches it and then comes back and talks to me about it. So that was just like, what? You actually watched? You went to watch Talking with Fans People? She did say, as soon as I told her what the name was, that it was a great name. So, anyway. So she did, and if she's gonna watch this one, I'm sure. That title says Victoria the ENTP, and the reality is, we've talked about her a lot the last I don't know, week or two, multiple occasions, because, well, and now we know why we were so like drawn to taking with that bartender.
Yeah.
She's an ENTP, and you just don't see him that often, right? The other thing is, she's getting a master's in psychology, and she wanted to get a PhD in psychology, but she didn't get into the PhD program due to nepotism.
What's nepotism?
It's like, I'm going to let my less qualified relative in instead of you. Well, I don't think Victoria will be a persistent watcher, but I suspect she'll watch this one, you know, and probably ones that we make like in the next maybe a couple of days. But knowing ENTPs, she's doing whatever she's doing, you know. So, but it was fascinating to discover that not only is she a psychology person getting her master's, but that she's an evangelist in favor of MBTI. Like she started off with, a lot of people consider it like pseudoscience or whatever, but it actually validates extremely well. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't remember what I said, but I should have said, you're preaching to the choir, sister. So that was super cool,
Yeah, it was.
And we watched the football game down there for a while. We got a couple cups of coffee and a cheese. It's called a charcuterie. It's like a piece of board with cheese and olives and meat and jam and little stuff on it like that, You and Victoria are the true woke ones. Well,
Thank you, Winston's mom.
Victoria, being an ENTP, does not want, I'm sure, me to explain things to her.
No.
So, the reality is, though, Victoria, you gotta think about typology from a cognitive function perspective, for first and foremost. This whole perceiving the dichotomies that you're currently employing aren't gonna really. That's why it won't add up for you. That's why you're like, I know this is right, but I can't quite validate it all the way. Well, I have lots of explanations about about the subject, but the long and the short of it is they're all attentional manners, the cognitive functions, and the configurations are definitionally necessary because of it's too. I can't do a fucking 5 second summary of cognitive functions. Sorry. I got so many videos on it. You're probably not going to watch them, but maybe you will. Who knows? Regardless, I'm pretty sure that dude's an INFJ that you work with, and that's
Me.
Rachel's type as well. So that's why the synchronicity of this whole thing is kind of like super mind blowing, and cool, you know. I've liked this. I like this hotel. I've liked staying here, and I still enjoy this hotel. I still like staying here, but I have determined that I do not like the day Friday anymore. It's disappointing me too much.
They should say Friday's child is full of love because
Fridays, you say Friday's child has to wait till the next business day. Unfortunately, what we have is a 10-day escrow that closes on a Friday. So there's going to be this gap of uncertain amount of days between us moving out of the house here and us moving into the house in Mariposa. It's longer than it should be because it didn't occur to me that at the time when we accepted the offer, we should have countered with the exact same offer except a 13-day escrow. Then we would have closed on a Monday. 11, 12, yeah. And then that would have facilitated this whole process a lot. So basically, all day long, I've been kicking myself for not asking for a 13-day escrow instead of a 10-day escrow, thanks to that goddamn Friday. Fridays, you're on my shit list, okay? You're now on my shit list. You being a Friday has caused me so many problems. It's like now we're gonna have to board the cats for longer down here. It's like this whole deal is structured for the cats to minimize and for hopefully prevent entirely what's happening, which is there's a time period between this house being sold and that house being bought. And guess what I learned today from Dean when I called to ask him some questions? Every county in California has different escrow rules. Yeah. So he can't really tell me what the answer is to Mariposa escrow rules. I could have called David back and asked him, but he already told me his estimated time of when we'd be able to move in, which provided me the information that I need to know about what the escrow rules up there must be. So, regardless, it's one of those things where it's like, Well, we don't know exactly what time of day meow is going to happen, so we don't know if you can do meow on the same day or not. We don't know until meow happens, and meow happens. Could it be any more frustrating? It's like, just know everything already. Just stop moving around. But I thought we had a great tarot pull down at the bar.
Yeah.
That one that you read all the, how many cards was that?
14.
14. That one seemed quite the timely and appropriate pull for our mutual meowing.
Yeah.
Also, I've thought of a great idea for a shirt for myself. I don't know if I'm actually going to get it or not, but I think it's a great idea to get it. Just a plain shirt that just says, in fairly small letters, but not too small, she's 38. Maybe on the back it could say, I'm 51.
I like it. I like that idea.
Because of my unanticipated problem that even though I'm not robbing the cradle, I'm realizing that probably people still think I am. This is really starting to hit me after she got carded in Portland.
And you're really not robbing the cradle. Like,
yeah, she'll be 38 on Monday.
Yeah, 38.
And I'm only 51, even though I look like I'm 82 or whatever.
No.
I'm a toothless old lady. Hiding down on the highway.
No.
Yeah. So anyway.
That is a great shirt idea.
Victoria is an ENTP who's really got her shit together, though. I'll tell you, she's like went to bartender school to become a bartender, intelligently avoiding the normal restaurant processes of doing the bottom job, then the next bottom job, and then the next bottom job until you get to work up to. I guess bartender is the most desirable job in restauranting.
Because liquor is more expensive, and also when the more FE you use or the more efficient you are, you get better tips. You just get better tips.
We tip the fuck out of her.
Yeah. You get really good tips as a bartender. Like, even like servers, a lot of servers, when they like get to a certain point in their serving career, they go to bartender, and like that's when they usually can like pay for stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that the bartenders keep all the tips that they earn themselves. They don't have to share with the hotel, right?
No.
So I'm sure she pulls in a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Doing this job, because this is a weird hotel in that it's not that expensive to stay at, but it's definitely a hotel full of rich people.
Yeah.
It's right next to the horse racing track, so you got like flashy people too, probably.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't flashy,
No.
but I'm the opposite of flashy.
I love it. It's so cozy. You're so cozy.
It's called hobo chic.
You are. I think you're just chic.
Thanks, darling. You're my
welcome.
perfect, precious angel.
Oh, thanks.
That'd be another good shirt, hobo chic.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
I might actually get that one.
Hobo chic, you should. You should get both of them.
Maybe I should. But what if I'm hanging out with Cameron? I shouldn't wear that.
No,
She's
yeah.
38 shirt, right? People would be confused.
You're like, yeah, you're not always with me.
Yeah, thanks for this moment. Just what I want to read more about escrow. Yeah, the thing about escrow is it's basically just a middleman between the buyer and the seller that wire transfers an additional wire transfer. Like the buyer doesn't get to wire transfer directly to the seller. The buyer has to wire transfer the escrow company, who then the next day wires it to the seller.
That's why closing on a Friday is like.
It's a nightmare. The thing is, I guess I get why there's escrow, but I kind of don't.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't think that New York has escrow. Like, it does, but it's different.
I don't think New York has escrow either.
No.
The reason I don't think that is because Lou told us that usually on the East Coast, when you buy and sell property, you just get two lawyers get together
Yeah.
and do it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because I worked for a real estate firm, and yeah, that's how it would go. Two lawyers would get together.
Huh. The two lawyers would hook up.
There was an escrow.
They'd have hot gay sex, and then the deal was done.
There was a. Yeah, I can't tell you really much about it. I worked there, but I mean.
Well, Rachel.
Fully understand.
Because you're a smart person, you managed to learn as little as possible about escrow.
Yeah, I learned very little about escrow.
Yeah, you're smart enough to know that is boring.
Impartial and neutral third party.
Yeah. Well, there's probably a specific phenomenon that used to happen that no longer does that justified the escrow once. But it's not really needed anymore, but it's hard to remove structures around which industries have grown. You got all these escrow companies in the state of California. What would they all do if we got rid of escrow? Well, they'd all go out of business. And that would suck for them and be good for everybody else.
Wow.
So that nobody can take the money and run. Right. But the thing is, yeah, okay. I mean, On the East Coast, is there some problem that occurs from the lack of escrow? So an escrow company and a title company is the same thing? Here I am asking questions about real estate. Rachel, there's an astrology channel called INTJ Tarot. Why is it an astrology channel called INTJ Tarot?
I know.
Is it just poorly titled, or does she do?
Hey, Lou.
Hi, there is escrow on the East Coast. It's just that all the work is done in advance, so when the closing happens, it's table or wet funded. Title company and escrow company are usually the same.
Yeah, 'cause like I thought we had like a department for escrow, but like, closings were quick.
Escrow sounds like the name of a sexual organ.
I think it sounds like a vegetable.
That's true. Like you see on a boutique salad, right? Like
Yeah.
with chartreuse and escrow.
Yeah.
And escrow shards.
Escrow shard.
Or topped with shaved escrow. Alternately, first gently stroke the escrow. Begin vigorously fingering the escrow.
That sound like a body part too. So we're saying this is the scene that's on.
The playlist downstairs that they were playing tonight was, the playlist was behind a day on the calendar. We got the Friday the 13th playlist today. On the 14th.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was full of things that either were or sounded like Matchbox 20.
Yes. They actually played Matchbox 1020. It was the last song that we
Did they?
Yep.
And the thing is, if things aren't expressly bad nor expressly good, I can tune them out mostly. Like I don't really notice them that much. But if a song is really bad, it starts to become painful for me to sit there. They had this horrible Hootie and the Blowfish song that must have lasted 5 minutes.
I wanna run with you. I only know it because like growing up listening to it.
Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish. You should be called shitty and don't listen to me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Whoa. Oh, that's right. You went and got candy last night. I remember now.
Yeah,
I was like, where did
I
this
had such
magically
a
come
craving, such a craving.
from? Really. We just had snacks for dinner last night.
Mhm. Hey, Levi Samuels.
No, there's 0% chance that Dave Matthews is on any playlist in heaven. Okay. Only in hell is Dave Matthews. They play Dave Matthews all the time in hell. Hell's playlist go like Dave Matthews, Matchbox 20, then Nickelback,
Hootie and Blowfish.
then Hootie and the Blowfish,
Lifehouse.
Lifehouse, then Dave Matthews
It
again.
was really bad tonight. You too.
Then you too. Bill Collins. The other
Elton John. They played Elton John too.
Elton John. No. Hell's playlist. I actually get that joke, but only because somebody else made a reference to that before, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And they explained it. That's Mabel. Like Dave Matthews' most famous song.
Yeah, it is.
His songs are so lacking in intuitive resonance, it's impossible to remember any of them in any way at all because they're just so, like, not hooky. They're the opposite of hooky. They're hookless.
I don't remember what Aunt Marjorie sounds like.
It sounds like 2 dog turds and a pile of pee.
No.
I don't need to say it sounds like they smell. And by the way, a bar back is equivalent to a sous chef, not a bartender's assistant. So you just keep that in mind, you people.
Hello, Alien.
Hi, Alien. We're not living so bougie. We're having to stay at this hotel. I mean, we can actually go back to the house now, but and we will while we can be at that house. We will go there, even though it's much less comfortable than this hotel. But there have been days when we've had no choice but to be at this hotel. Okay, we've been living a little large there, but the thing is, you know, this is a period of state change, which definitionally stands between 2 states of equilibrium. So you can expect a little volatility during periods of state change.
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke a cigarette now.
Okay.
And I'm going to get another beer. Do you want anything to drink?
Yes. I kind of want cranberry juice. You in the bar, I'll have that. Cause
You should.
Yeah.
Because somebody might want to get a, what's it called?
Cranberry vodka?
Yeah, is that the other name for it? There's another name for that. Anyway, regardless, they should have cranberry.
Okay.
Alright, I'll be back in a bit.
Alright, I love you.
Love you.
You like the wall design? Do you know what it is, Levi Samuels? At first, we thought it was a dog, but it's not a dog. Okay, so it's a mountainscape. It's a mountainscape. It's like supposed to be like the Santa Anita mountain range. Sangre Bro. It's just so pixelated that it's kind of hard to make it out. Yeah, it is. It's like very like modern looking, and it looks like it's like wood. When you look at it closer, it looks like it's like wood square box put together to like make a puzzle of a mountainscape, but it's just wallpaper. So, and wallpaper is much cheaper than square tiles of wood, for sure. No, nuclear. I don't do long-term planning on the regular basis. I have to like really fucking like think. I really have to like sit down and like get serious to like talk about long-term planning or actually do anything that has to do with long-term planning. It scares the frig out of me. It intimidates me so much because there's so like planning in itself can be so stressful, and then like long-term planning, like I feel like there's so many changes that happen, so like I don't know. I personally don't do a lot of long-term planning. It looks like a fox. In which direction does it look like a fox? Like there? There? Or here? Hey, Carrot. I can see the fox this way. Like that's like the nose, like the beginning of it. Yeah, Eric Moore. It like it sets up expectations. Like some people are really good with like making plans and sticking to them. Like my mom, like she's an ESTJ and she like basically everything she says she's gonna do, she does. She doesn't promise a lot. She doesn't promise a lot at all. But if there's something that needs to be done, she'll do it. And she'll do it right away. She always would tell me, do it now, do it right away. That way you get it over with. And like, I'd always be like, but that's so fucking boring. I don't want to do that right now. I want to watch YouTube or I want to watch Netflix. I don't want to fill out this like paper to try to get into school. Like, or like fill out this paperwork to get like health insurance. Like that fucking shit is boring. And it's tedious, so detail oriented. It's just like ugh. That's fun hearing more. I make a plan, hope someone else will take the initiative. Sometimes, and you know what, if you're lucky, there is. There is. That makes sense, Levi Samuels. I think it's, inferior, it has like TE's involved with that. So is SI. So like, that's why I probably like making the long-term plans, but, TE and inferior SE, having backslot SE is going to stress you out because that's not in your wheelhouse. It's like making long-term plans can be fun because but yeah, it is a stressful thing as well for me. So how do I be pretty? Be pretty if you do things that you enjoy. And pretty is subjective. I learned how to I'm also a Libra rising. Eric has a Gemini moon. Yeah, so the question of how to be, how to be pretty is really a very difficult question to answer because there's so many different forms of prettiness. Pretty for some reason just makes me think more feminine, but different things make people feel pretty. Even guys, they can wear a certain thing and just feel pretty. I have more Sagittarius in my world chart. I have a Sagittarius moon. It's cool, I'm a Libra rising also, and Capricorn sun. I turned 38 on Monday. Levi Samuels, I wonder what you are too. I bet you're pretty wonderful. I bet you're pretty wonderful though. I have that terrible fucking Hootie and the Blowfish song. Hold my hand, I want you home there. Hold my hand. I had that song stuck in my head because that's what they were singing at the bar. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate it. Yeah, this Monday. This Monday, oh my gosh, on my birthday, we have to bring the cats to the vet, and I don't know what we're gonna do about Trouble, how to get him in the cat. We first of all have to get cat carriers, and Pee-Pee, like Eric's worked with Pee-Pee before, and she doesn't like going in the cat carrier, but she will. Trouble, on the other hand, is a stray cat, so we have plans to get like long gloves because he's probably going to scratch us. Sup, Jimmy Blaze? What's good?
That's actually why I knocked like that.
I knew it.
Was to reassure you that it was me.
Really, I'm such a nerd.
Well, you know what I did somehow is leave both my key and my phone in the room. I had to wait down by the elevator until somebody else got on the elevator. Oh, there's my key. I did have my key the whole time.
No freaking way you did.
I put it in this dumb place again.
What dumb place?
Sometimes I do this. You have to come look.
That's like a really good place to put it, though.
If I did it consistently, but my norm is to put it in my wallet. So I checked my wallet, I checked my pockets, felt my cigarettes, couldn't tell the difference between my cigarettes and my key, you know. Because it's just like, it feels like a box to me.
Oh, thank you for getting me the cranberry juice.
Sure. So, there's something I wanted to talk about downstairs. What was it? I don't remember. That's what it was. What was it? Well, I was standing outside, and I was thinking about what? I was thinking about this, about something I was going to say on the stream when I got back up here. It might come back to me. In the meantime, we'll just carry on as though I didn't have anything in mind to talk about. But I don't know if my view is accurate. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm going to say, no, it's not. I don't know. Because I don't know what your view is or what you're talking about. But if I did know what your view is and what you're talking about, then I'd be able to tell you if it's accurate, probably, if it's about something that I know about.
Well, before Alien was talking about how to be pretty, and I said it's kind of difficult to answer because I feel like pretty, it can be subjective.
Well,
But
the number one thing to do is to be coquettish.
oh, you got it.
You have to be shyly flirtatious and hide behind trees in the park.
Yes. Hiding behind trees in the park is like the number one thing.
That's how to be pretty. You go behind a tree and then you come out behind a tree like that.
Yes. See how pretty? Oh, how pretty.
That's how to be pretty. It's my comment from further up, lol. Further up from where? You didn't specify. I know, right? Everybody says that when I'm being coquettish. They say, how pretty you've become. You keep focusing on people's facial expressions and thinking people are mad or disappointed when they might not be. It's super stressful. What are you're focusing on their facial expressions for what purpose? To try to figure something out, or what? There was a version of Hold My Hand on Sesame Street, crossing the street. Hold my hand while we cross the street. Otherwise, you'll be run over by a car. I'm constantly having to tell this to Rachel. Rachel, you hold my hand when we cross the street.
Yeah, it is. That is.
Or you will be run over by a car. You think Tame Impala is FI music, but it's good FI music? Tame Impala. I think I like at least one of their songs, right?
Yeah, you do.
Can you hum a few bars? Well, we'll listen to it
It's a little intricate.
when we're done streaming.
And then I have like another of their songs stuck in my head that I don't think they know. Yeah.
But you know what song I really like a lot is that song. Who put the bump in the bump, or whatever? With that girl singer?
Oh, Clumsy?
No.
Who put the ram in the ram? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what is that song called?
That's by Le Tigre.
Right, Le Tigre. It's called Decepticon or something?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's yeah, it's a great song. I can't
take the bomb.
Yeah. Your lyrics are as boring as a linoleum floor. Is that what she says in it?
Linoleum floor. Your lyrics are dumb like a linoleum floor.
Great. Who is Victoria, if you don't mind me asking? Well, Alan Reed, I don't mind you asking, and I also don't mind providing an answer. Victoria is the person I've heretofore referred to as either that lady or our favorite bartender. And I had not typed her officially, but observationally typed her at the STP. We went down to the bar tonight, and she walks up to us and says, "MBTI, huh?" So it turns out, she actually is an ENTP. She told me, "You almost got me right. I'm an ENTP," because she must have watched enough of one of our streams at least to
Hear that we typed her.
hear that we typed her at the STP. And I said, "Well, I knew you were TI2, so that was pretty obvious."
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, you got it really close."
But even when she said that, I didn't believe her at first. I thought, well, okay, she's an ESTP who's mistyped herself. But after watching her for a while longer, she's right. She's an ESTP.
Yeah, and actually, she's not tall, Winston's mom. I know you asked about her height before. She's probably around my height. 5'2", 5'3", maybe.
She's nevertheless my body type.
Yeah, she is.
Even though she's not tall.
Right, she is. She's very slender. Like, naturally slender.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, those kind of physical commonalities aren't good ways to type people, but they do exist, right? NTPs tend to have very high metabolisms and not really even be able to put on weight very much, even if they were to try. So, that tends to be the case, but it's inadequately reliable for typology to use as a justification for making a claim about somebody's type. Nevertheless, it's data consistent with the correct conclusion, which is ENTP. I mean, I'm bad at telling how tall or short people are because I would never have thought she was short. If you'd asked me, I would have said she seems pretty tall to me, I guess, except for the fact that today she said, do you need more cream? I'm not tall enough to look up into your cream things to see if they're empty or not. Otherwise, I would have just thought, if you asked me to guess her height, I would have said probably 5'7". But I bet she's shorter than that.
Yeah, she's pretty tiny.
Why did that window capture go away?
I don't know.
Huh. There we go. It's recaptured. It's recaptured. Hopefully OBS's little hiccup there didn't cause any big problems.
I hope you have fun, Lou.
Have fun at your birthday party. Oh, it's not your birthday party, someone else's birthday party. It's not going to be that long of a stream. I think we're going to wrap this up fairly quickly because we are going back to the house tonight and sleeping there. Yeah, well, that's what happened, Steve Shaw, is I'm not sure exactly how it came up, but it came up naturally that after multiple interactions, the last time I interacted with her before today, that we were YouTubers and the channel was called Talking with Famous People. But this is the first time anybody's ever actually checked it out and then followed up with me about it, right? I've never experienced that before. So it was like, what? Not only did you check it out, but it turns out you're super into MBTI and an ENTP. That's so weird.
Yeah.
But explains why she was our favorite person, or is. She didn't die just because we're leaving the hotel tomorrow.
No. Unfortunately, when we come back, she won't be around. She's gonna be on vacation. But
Yeah. But we'll see her again because when we come down to LA, we'll stay at this hotel because we like this hotel.
yes.
And it's close enough to where my daughter lives in Baldwin Park, although she may be moving someplace else. Regardless, once you're in LA, everything's quote unquote freeway close, so whatever. They're ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
I once asked a girlfriend if I could look up into her cream things to see if they were broken, if they were empty or not, and she broke up with me. I do not understand that at all. Okay, well, people say things. Some of them I understand, some of them I don't. All right. Looks like I addressed everything of significance except this one question. Is Daft Punk more SE or NE? Well, Daft Punk isn't either of those things. Daft Punk is a band or a music production pair, I guess, is what they really are, right? So, as far as their music, like, as always, any great track is an accomplishment of resonating as great on NI. Inverted intuition is how you know what's good in aesthetics. That's why ESTJs, ESFJs are never good artists. Anyway, have a great night. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And if you do, eat 3 times as much tomorrow. The end.